How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA Analyst. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can use the creative runs on FIFA 21, as well as the new player lock system. This is a new feature added onto FIFA 21 that has its use and purposes in some certain areas on the pitch. So we're going to go through and show you how you guys can use it today. If you do enjoy the video, please do give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel. We are pushing on towards 100,000 subscribers. So if you do enjoy the content, any support is greatly appreciated. We're going to do this video a little bit differently to the way I normally do our how-to videos. We're going to go a little bit, look back on things a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So then, first of all, what we're going to do is talk to you about how you can just send someone on a run and how you can bring someone short. So you can just see on the controller next to me, all I'm doing is tapping the L1 LB button, which is the left bumper button. And what it's doing is sending the people on a run that I am facing with the analog stick. So if we just go back here, you can see that if I face up for the Bernardo Silva, I've got my angle on my left stick pointing towards him in that direction. I then tap L1 or LB on Xbox, and that will send that guy on a run. It is always the way that your analog stick is facing. If you are facing this way for the actual player, but you make a quick turn and you push your analog stick there, if you then tap the LB L1 button, it will send the guy on a run that you are facing. One thing that I see happen a lot with people is they end up tapping the LB button and sending their centre backs on a run. You need to make sure that you avoid doing that. And the other way, when they do make the run with just the LB and L1, they are going to run in a straight line towards the goal. They're not going to arc it. They're not going to run an angle. They are literally going to run straight line towards the goal. If you want to bring someone short and say, come and show short to me, I need an option on, you can do the opposite bumper, which is R1, RB. Now you can see I'm tapping the R1 and the players are coming short. Fernandinho comes in short there. Mendy comes in short. If you send someone on a run by accident by tapping L1, you can tap the R1 button, RB, to then cancel that run and say, no, come back, get back into position. Very useful when you need some time on the ball. One thing I want to make you sure and aware of is because a lot of the times what we do is we tap the L1 button a few times to actually send the guy on a run, because sometimes it doesn't register. So you might tap it a few times. Last year, you would do the same for R1, RB to bring someone short. However, this year, there's a new skill move, which is actually really useful, and I will be talking to you about it in separate videos, which is the bridge. If you double tap the R1, RB button, you end up doing this skill move here. As you can see, De Bruyne, if I tap the R1 button, when I turn around here, you'll see it, and I do it now. He does a little bit of a pace boost and kind of moves to the side. So make sure that you're not doing that, otherwise you will lose the ball in key areas. Now, the other feature that we've got is the creative run system. You can use this in two ways. If you just take a look on the screen now, you can see that Bernardo Silva, I think it's Bernardo Silva, has made that run for us. How do we do this? When you tap L1 to send someone on a run, so your analog stick's facing that way, and let's say we wanted to send this guy on a run here with the L1 button, we then have to flick the right analog stick in whatever direction you want them to run. So if you just take a close eye on the controller, you can just see I tap L1 and then I flick the right stick into the direction that I want them to do it, and they will make their run across the line. When you are playing online, that line that you see from the runner making that run won't appear, so just keep that in mind. They will do it, but you won't see the actual line. This can be useful in defense and obviously in attack. If you say have got no option to play on, you can tell your centre mid, drop back to centre back, and then you can play the ball back to your centre back and then rotate it out to the right hand side and the left hand side. It's a very, very useful feature. However, I personally don't like it. Why don't I like it? Because when you are trying to send someone on a run, when you've got the ball at your feet, you tap the L1 button and then you flick the right stick. What can happen a lot is you end up doing a skill move, like a step over or something, or a little side to side, and that can mean that you lose the ball because of it. So it's a little bit of a fiddly feature. EA, I think, have said that they are working on this to patch, so hopefully that is the case. But yeah, definitely just keep an eye on that and be very cautious of it. The other way that you can do it is actually to just press the pass button, lay it off to that man, and then you can just flick the right analog stick in the direction that you want the guy that you've just passed the ball off in transition of the ball moving over. So if you press X or A to pass the ball back here, and then the ball's in mid-flight and it's there, if you flick the right analog stick up that way, De Bruyne will run there. If you flick it that way, he'll run there. So that can be a little bit more useful. I find that's very useful with strikers, 1-2s, kind of using it in that sort of system. That's where the creative runs kind of come into it as well. Now, the other thing that you can do actually is the player lock lock system, which is where you press the right analog stick and the left analog stick in at the same time. When you do it, you will notice that the cursor above your head changes. Look at it now. It's the normal triangle. Look at it now. There you go. Can you see how that changes? So it's now changed from a triangle. And that then indicates that you have activated the player lock system. The opposition knows when you've done this, all right? They know that you've done that. When you are originally on that man, you can then use the right stick to flick it around and change the who you want. So originally we were with De Bruyne, and then we flicked the right analog stick down, and now we change to this man. I find this system so much better than the creative runs because I feel like it's very useful in and around the air. You know, if you want to play a through ball into the striker or something, it's a little bit fiddly. You've got to be quick on it. One thing to take note is that the guy that is now being controlled by the AI will literally only run in a straight line. They won't sprint. They won't, you know, they keep it at a nice slow speed, and they're not very smart, all right? So you can't let them do it for too long. If you say switch to someone else and you want to go back to that guy, you can do that by pressing the right stick and the left stick in again, and then you're sorted. If you want to receive the ball, you know, so say if you lay the ball off, and you can see I'm with Rodri, now the AI is controlling Fernandinho. I can ask for an X pass, I can ask for a square pass, I can ask for a dinked pass, I can ask for whatever pass I want, just as you would normally. The only difference is that the AI is doing it, and that's how that works. So what we're going to do now, as you can see, just to give you a bit of an indication of how it works, we're going to go jump into some highlights to show you where I use the features. So, jumping into some highlights just to show you it. You won't be able to see the creative runs actually happening on screen. You need to keep an eye on the analog stick where I might be flicking them. I might be using the player lock system. What you will notice a lot of the times as well is how I'm trying to send someone on a run with L1 when I've got the ball at my feet. I then flick the right stick, and then I end up doing a skill move, and it can be a little bit fiddly and a little bit frustrating. It is a game changer on 21 because what I think can benefit you here is if you can master it, it certainly helps you. Like there, you can see I'm arcing that run. I then press a through ball and ask for it. If you can master it, if someone plays a defensive line, you might be able to use this feature to, you know, leave the AI on the ball, and you can make that run however you want. You can show for the AI however you want, and that's a bit of a different feature that we've never had on FIFA before. So when someone's playing a little bit defensively on FUT Champs and you've not got a way to break them down, that is definitely one thing that should be able to help us in that battle to kind of you know, get through the AI and the defending. You just see here, just waiting with promos, waiting for the ball, and then waiting for the perfect time for the defender to commit, and then we get the goal from that as well. The player lock system, as I said, is the one which I use probably the most. I probably use it once or twice a game. I don't want you guys to think that now I've told you how to do this, you should do it. You know, it's a new OP overpowered technique. It's really not, if I'm being truthful. It's useful. It has its time and its place. You can also ask it, you know, if you're down on the wing and you want to go and change your run for the striker in the box, you can change the striker in the box and then ask for that through ball, which can be really, really helpful as well. So don't go and, you know, think that this is something you have to make sure that you master. It is very good if you can use it to your advantage. Some of the players I've seen use it, and the stuff they've done with it is absolutely phenomenal. It's not something that I will use, you know, a ridiculous amount. I'm hoping EA will fix the skill move thing, because to me, a lot of people are saying, yeah, but you can do it where you lay the ball off. I don't want to lay the ball off. I want to change the direction of the guy ahead of me to make him run from right wing across the defensive line. But then if the guy on the ball's doing a skill move, they can tackle me then. I need to get better at this, by the way, timing the runs. They can then tackle me, and then I end up losing the ball from that. And I'm not a massive fan of that. I'd rather they make it so that if you tap L1, skill moves are disabled for the next half a second or something. I definitely think that could be a way around the feature. A way to benefit the feature, but make it optional. If you want to make it so you can still do a skill move, then that's absolutely fine, and it can work for you guys. So have a go with it, have a fiddle with it. I would really recommend going into a kickoff match and just getting used to the feature, seeing the runs happening on screen so you know exactly how they look, and then using the player lock system as well. The player lock system, you do need to press the left analog stick and the right analog stick in at the same time. If you do the right stick first and you don't do the left stick, you'll end up flicking the ball up in the the air doing a little flick up, and it's not that great. I've done that a few times, so you will make mistakes, you will make errors, but stick with it, have a bit of a practice and see how you guys get on with it. Let me know down in the comment section if there's any particular methods that you use that you think is really strong. I use it quite a lot on a 1-2. I use it when, when I'm wanting that through ball, and I change it to him. I arc the runs, as you can see on there, and so on. So have a play with it and see what you think, and let me know down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, as always, smash that like button. I appreciate your support. It's been absolutely crazy on FIFA 21. Looking forward to the First Foot Champs weekend next weekend. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.